everybody, and welcome to Ddfr. I am your host, Doomsday Ducks fan. Today we are going to talk about 3 Anaheim Ducks games. We are going to talk about the 3-2 win against Minnesota, the 3-2 win in a overtime game in San Jose to go into the All-Star break, and then we are going to finish with the first game back from the All-Star break, a 5-3 loss to the Edmonton Oilers. Let's jump into the first game in Minnesota. Ducks battled in this one. Ducks went down 2-1 in the first period with a goal from Troy Terry. They were kind of just chasing in the beginning there. They come back, man. They get a goal in the second period to tie the game, and then Troy Terry gets his second of the game. He's been absolutely amazing since coming back from that little injury that he had. Troy has looked nothing but on it this year. Like, his goal scoring is picking up again. Struggled in the beginning. Goal scoring is picking up. His assists are better than last year. And there's not much more you can ask Troy Terry to do for this team. Getting into the game against San Jose, there wasn't too much to talk about. Two bad teams. Ducks looked like they were going to just kind of get their shit run in the first. Able to come out of that 1-1. In the second period, the Sharks take a 2-1 lead. Didn't like that. Didn't like that at all. But then who else but Troy Terry to tie the game with a minute left in regulation. Beautiful play from Leo to get it over to Terry, and no doubt on that one. Puts it in the back of the net, ties the game. In overtime, Troy Terry and Frank Vatrano take care of business. Terry feeds Vatrano. And the All-Star sends the Ducks into the All-Star break with a goal, winning the game in overtime in San Jose. Well, All-Star weekend was actually kind of entertaining. The skills competition was fun. The players actually competed because there was money to be won. And Connor McDavid won, to nobody's surprise. The most skilled player in the league won the skills competition. He also helped design. Just saying. Anyhow, going out of the All-Star weekend, the Ducks faced a huge challenge. Huge challenge. Edmonton, this is important for context, coming out of the All-Star break, was on a 16-game winning streak. If they beat the Vegas Golden Knights, the first team they played out of the All-Star break, they would have tied the NHL record for most wins in a row at 17. The game after that was against the Ducks. That would be game 18 where they could set the record. Luckily, the Oilers did not set or tie the record against the Vegas Golden Knights. They lost to the Vegas Golden Knights, and so there was no pressure of, oh crap, we're going to have an NHL record set against us. The team played like it. They dominated 40 minutes of that game. Like, the Ducks were playing incredibly well. They go into the third period, tied at 2. They get an early goal to take a 3-2 lead. And then Corey Perry, who's on the Edmonton Oilers, not going to cry, slashes John Gibson's stick out of his hand. Just slashes it out of his hand. And there's no call. Gibson looks and complains to the ref. And a few seconds later, the puck ends up in the back of the net with John Gibson without a stick. That should have been a slash. Don't know why it wasn't. Edmonton, it might have been smart of you to sign Corey Perry, man. It might have been smart. That dude knows what he can get away with. And good luck, Corey. I really do wish you the best of luck in Edmonton. I really do. So, that ties the game. And the Ducks immediately after that go back to their old antics and take a crippling penalty on the power play. Okay. Also, context. Those first 2 periods, Gibson was holding the Ducks in the game on some really quality chances by the Oilers. Gibson doesn't come back for the third. It's Dostal. And on this power play and the previous goal, Dostal was amazing. No fault of Dostal's. Dude was screen, and I mean, dude had no chance on a Leon Draisaitl one-timer on the power play after making 3 miraculous saves already on that power play. The Oilers' power play is lethal. We knew that. We knew that the Ducks couldn't take penalties. And, I think they took 1 or maybe 2. The Oilers capitalized. We knew that the Ducks could not take penalties if they were going to win this game. I'm not too worried about this loss. It was a loss to a really, really good team. That team is climbing and climbing and climbing the Western Conference, and it's kind of scary how good they are. They're an absolute unit. Their only issue really is goaltending. And Picard even looked good in this game. He made some good saves on a few really good chances the Ducks had. It wasn't anything spectacular. Both of the Ducks goalies outplayed Picard, in my opinion. But the Ducks just don't have that scoring touch. And I think they're hoping big time that at the end of the year, after the trade deadline, Cutter Gauthier is done with his college games and he's just ready to suit up, put on a Ducks jersey, burn a year of his entry-level contract. Worth it. Cutter, we can't wait for you. We really can't. And it would be really nice to get Zegras back. That's not going to happen for a while. Minchikov is practicing again. There's good news there. Killorn was seen practicing. Max Jones was actually back for this game against the Oilers. He wasn't really noticeable. I'm not going to hold it against him too much. He was on a line with Lundestrom and Silfverberg. They didn't do a whole lot. I think that they're trying to figure out where he fits in the lineup. And honestly, if you put Max Jones on the 4th line and have him be part of that, go out and beat the living shit out of the other team, and now you have him as a option who can drive the net and maybe a touch of scoring with him, it's not a bad idea. It's not. Don't know how bad the injury is to John Gibson. He missed practice today. This is the day after the Oilers game that I'm recording this, but yeah, he missed practice today. McTavish missed the Oilers game, but was practicing today. Some people on Twitter kindly pointed out that the upper body injury he might have been a really bad sunburn. He might not have just been able to put on pads because of how bad his sunburn was. Could have potentially ripped off his skin, which you don't want to hear that. You want to hear that your players are being a little smarter than that. But he didn't physically get hurt over the All-Star break. So I will 100% take a 1-game absence for a really bad sunburn over he jumped off of a boat and then slammed his ankle into a reef or something. Much rather take the sunburn. Anaheim's next game is Tuesday, the 13th of February at 4 p.m. against the Montreal Canadiens in Montreal. This is my dad's team. He will be rooting for the Canadiens. I will obviously be rooting for the Ducks. They're in a very similar boat. The Canadiens are better and have played better and have gotten more wins than the Ducks. However, they're kind of in the same boat of yeah, this is part of the rebuild, but obviously with the Ducks, there's Leo to be excited about. There's Minchikov to be excited about. There's Zellweger. There's, also Zellweger played in the 2 games before the All-Star break. Didn't play against Edmonton. He's still down in San Diego. I think they're just trying to figure out how to shift roster spots around so that they can bring him back up, and they're going to have to put somebody on waivers. My guess is either it's going to be Ross Johnston or Brett Leeson. Those are kind of the two who have been flip-flopping in and out of the lineup. One of them's probably going to go down so Zellweger can get some more time up here. He looks like he belongs in the NHL already. He really does. Slavkovsky, as of late, has come on. Caulfield has kind of regressed in his scoring touch. He and Zegras are both kind of having down offensive years, and I'm curious to see. There's rumors that potentially Z would be going to Montreal. That would be. I don't really know what Montreal would have to offer to the Ducks. Like, you're going to get a first rounder from them. Really? Really? A first rounder. The rebuilding Montreal Canadiens are giving you a first rounder for Trevor Zegras. I don't think so. I really don't think so. It would be hard to see Zegras moved. Don't think it's going to happen. And I don't think it'll be the Canadiens. I don't really think they have the assets to do that. I think the Ducks are looking for another player who needs a change of scenery. If anything, it might be somewhere like New York, where they take Lafreniere back, or Kako. Doubt Lafreniere because he's actually having a good year this year, but I'm just rambling at this point. Ducks play 4 p.m. February 13th, Tuesday. Game's going to be on Bally Sports. Everybody in Southern California. For everybody in Canada and Montreal, it'll probably be on Sportsnet. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I appreciate everybody who comes and watches the DDFRs. Hit that like button if you like what you saw. Hit that subscribe button if you really like it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.